Hello, I'm Shajaratul, is known as Aja as Talker A.
Hello, and I'm Adriana, as Talker B.
Hey Ed, it's been quite a while since we got into linguistic thingy, by Dr. Peter. So, do you think that is quite interesting for me? Actually, it's quite interesting about linguistics so far.
Yes, I think it's quite interesting because we don't learn this in middle school and even in high school. So I think when I learned like in linguistics, I just knew a lot about my roots and about other people's roots. So I think it's very interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, because our life is always related to linguistic, but we just didn't know it. We didn't learn quite deep about it, like we learn it right now here. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm very grateful to learn about because I think I can understand more about other languages and dialect. And I would say dialect is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, dialect is the thing that caught my eyes the most.
Okay. So in my opinion, I think I love like the dialects we have in Malaysia. We have like 14 states, and I can say that we have like around 10 accents, 10 dialects and more. And I think I would like to talk about the different like dialect. Like since I'm from Perlis, so we talk in northern accent, which is it's not very common for everybody. So I will give an example. So like soy sauce in Malay, like usual Malay, we call it as kicap, right? But in Perlis, we call it as like toyu, or we call it cap manis, just add a little bit of spice, let the spiciness in our dialect. And I think another dialect that I really like is the Sabahan dialect because it's just so interesting to listen and to understand how they talk because I just think it's entertaining and I like it. Like one of the example that I really like, I can't expect is kencang. So if it's kencang in Malay, we will know it's like strong windy days, but kencang in Sabahan it means marah. It means getting mad at somebody. So I think that's all from me. What about you?
Well, you wanna know why I love dialect?
Yeah, why?
Because, from dialect, someone speaking some dialects, we can know where they're really from. Like what, not really from, kind of like what are their bloodline, like their family thingy, and we can know like, oh, she is from Kelantan, she is from Sabah. We can know that, so we will be more sensitive. Like we will not talk about things that is sensitive for them, like in their, in their place. So I think Malay dialect, of course, it's more relatable to us because we do hear it every day, but not so much about English. But actually, there is like, British and American dialect. So here in Malaysia, we do use British accent. No, accent.
Oh yeah, it's like dialect.
Yeah, dialect.
Like
So it's quite confusing.
Like
accent.
we even use it for like for our learn because we have Easter with
we use British like dialect, not accent. It's quite confusing because it's not same, but it's quite related. So you wanna guess what is apartment in British dialect? You wanna guess what? Apartment is flat.
Oh, which dialect?
Like in American dialect, it's apartment, and in British dialect, it's flat. It's the same meaning, but it's a different words, different vocabulary.
Oh, because it's actually interesting because as we know in Malaysia, if we use like the Rojak language, right, we call apartment and flat as the same thing, right?
Yeah, but most of the time we use the British words, and this is the thing that British people got mocked of the most. They say rubbish. They don't say garbage. I've seen a video, a British man. He said throw the rubbish, and the American is making fun of him, just because he said that. You do know, like nowadays people always making fun of British dialect. maybe it's quite funny for them. But for me, British dialect is like a very like
It's kind of hard
romantic.
in my opinion.
it's quite hard.
It's quite hard.
It's you say hard. I thought you
Yeah,
say
hard.
hard.
It's hard because your thick accent. It's like if compare British to Australian accent, I would say British accent is so complicated to understand because I have one of British friends. She speak in British accent. It's so hard to understand what she's trying to say. I think of all things that I have learned in linguistics, I think dialects stand out the most to me. And since we are doing videos in dialects, I think I have been understanding more about dialects. Like, it's just not about like other countries, but also in our own country. So I think that's all
Yeah.
for me. That's what I can say.
I agree 100% with you. We do see dialect every day, and it's so into us. That's all
Yep.
from us.
That's all from us. Thank you for
Thank-
listening to our
thank you.
last video.
Thank you so much.